Okay, here we are. I've put the blade back in there correctly, reassembled this. I'm going to turn it on again. Okay, green light. It's in position 1, I guess. Actually, it looks like it's in between positions right there. So I'm just making sure it can actually move from side to side. Okay. So it's moving, the blade's not in the way, everything's good. It's lined up with position 2. Now let's tell it to go back to position 1. Okay. Alright. So it's in position 1. It is physically loaded correctly, and the machine is on. So now, let's do this first before I have to take the entire machine apart again. Let's go ahead and go to support. Let's go to sensor info. You can see the fenda is showing 0 right there. So take a little piece of filament and I'll put the filament in there. You can see that the fenda turns to 1. So now I'll move that in and out of there. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. I mean, the sensor works. So we know the sensor works. All right. Now, back to main. Go back to main. We'll go load filament. And I'll go just number 1. I'm just going to ask it to load number 1 now. Okay. It seems okay. It seems happy. Now let's do this. Now let's put the cord back in it. And let's go load to nozzle. PLA. It's got to heat up. Okay, so now we're going to load filament 1. Let's see what it does. Red light now. Turns and tries to load it. Nothing happening. None of the motors are turning. It's not doing anything. Red flashing light. Okay. Now let's open it up. Okay. So it's just as soon as I open it up, you might not be able to see that easily moving, but it just easily moves. I mean, easily. And here we go. I can just push it right into the tube again. There it is. I can move it easily into the tube. So there it is. I'll pull it all the way out. Okay, pull it all the way out. And then here, and then some people say it can have ground, maybe it ground the filament. Let's look. Yeah, it did. But why? So I cut off that part. It moves easily moves. Go back in there, tuck it in the end right there. Okay, it's right there. It's perfect. And it's gone back to MMU needs attention. Okay, so here we are. MMU needs user attention. I can try to get it to reload. Had to press the knob to resume temperature. It says fix the issue and then press the button on the MMU, which I did. It says the button. I figured it means the middle button. And now it moves around again. It says fix the issue and then press the button. Okay, so here we go. Just gives me a blinking red light. This is the problem. There is nothing physically wrong with the filament path, but it now will no longer load a filament at all. Like I said, I've gotten this far, but that's as far as I get. Okay, so I'm gonna hit reset on the printer, reset the whole thing. Okay, everything's good there. So I'll start the 3-color lizard again and we'll just see what happens. it just sits there and does its back and forth thing that it does, back and forth. See, look, it came out, it's there. It's spitting the filament out. But it will pull it back in and say that the load failed. There it goes. Get the red light, and eventually it'll come up here that the MMU2 needs user attention, or that the load has failed. Actually, it's giving a green light now. And back to load failed. Yeah, that's what it did. Back to load failed. So clearly you can see that it will load filament into here, but then it sucks it back in and decides the load has failed. That is essentially the issue, and that's why I believe it's not a hardware problem. So between that and between this, hopefully you guys can help me out.